So this year in 2023, we've got a pretty good free agent class, but I'm going to take the top 15 free agents, in my opinion, and show you where I think they're going to sign and play ball in 2024. So at number 15, I have Lucas Giolito going to the San Diego Padres. Look, the Padres have an old rotation, and they don't really have that good of a rotation, especially if Blake Snell leaves. And I think there's a good chance that's going to happen because Blake Snell is going to require a lot of cash, and the Padres already have a lot of cash invested into other players. But of all the good pitchers on the free agent market, Giolito is going to be probably your cheapest option, which obviously helps out the Padres. I mean, essentially, you're looking at a pitcher that's going to give you an ERA, just over 4, but he's going to eat up 150 to 200 innings, and, that's all you can ask. He's not going to cost a lot, so Padres, go for it. All right, so number 14, we're going JD Martinez to the Arizona Diamondbacks. Yeah, the team where he hit 4 home runs in one game against my Dodgers. With the Diamondbacks being such a young team, they have a DH spot that's open and available for a guy like JD Martinez, a guy that's a doubles machine, gonna hit you over 30 home runs a year, and above all, just be protection in that lineup for guys like Corbin Carroll, Ketel Marte, and Christian Walker. You're going to have Ketel Marte and Corbin Carroll getting on base all the time. You're going to see a lot of 3-run home runs or 2-run doubles from JD Martinez. Just throw him in that 3-hole, and you can move Gabriel Moreno to the 5-hole. With Christian Walker in the 4, that makes that lineup even better. But hey, I'm not done adding to the Arizona Diamondbacks. There's a pitcher at the top of this list that I think is the perfect fit to bring a ring to Arizona. At number 13, I've got kind of a weird one. Eduardo Rodriguez going to the Cincinnati Reds. Yes, the Reds. They need pitching. That offense looked great most of the year last year, but Hunter Green and Nick Lodolo weren't able to pitch as much as we would have liked to see, and Erod makes a lot of sense because he's a veteran pitcher that they can pencil in at the top of that rotation. He had an ERA of 3.30 this year, and if he can give them 150 to 200 innings as well, that'll just really shore up that pitching staff, and it shouldn't cost a ridiculous amount of money because we know the Reds aren't going to spend a lot of money. At number 12, I have Justin Turner going back to the LA Dodgers. Yes, I know the Dodgers, it sounds crazy, but look, he needs to come home, he needs to be in LA, and we need him to be around all of our young players, mentoring them, because that's what he does best. Oh, and he's no slouch at the plate either. He had an on-base percentage near 350 last year, hit over 270 with 24 home runs. Plus, that provides someone that we can put at first base or third base to give Freddie Freeman days off, Max Muncy days off, and if he's not doing that, he can be our DH. It's a perfect fit. Come home. At number 11, I have Marcus Stroman, obviously going back to the Cubs. Look, if Marcus Stroman would have stayed on the tear that he stayed on all year, I might change my mind a little bit, but he had a very, very bad second half. His ERA was closer to 5 than it was to 4. And look, the Cubs just gave $80 million to a manager. So if they can do that, they can give Marcus Stroman his money, and I think his price is going to come down just because of that terrible second half. So Marcus Stroman to the Cubs. Okay, so now we're in our top 10, and starting out at number 10 is Jordan Montgomery. And who's he going to? I think the Philadelphia Phillies make a lot of sense. Look, I think Aaron Nola is going to sign with a different team later on this list, and that means the Phillies, they're going to need another starter. And who better than Jordan Montgomery? It gives them another lefty in that rotation, and a guy that's not going to require 6-7 years, we think. Realistically, he's probably going to get 3 to 4 years. He's a good pitcher. He's good in the playoffs. He's a perfect fit for the Phillies. Well, we were just talking about the Phillies and how they're going to lose out on Aaron Nola. Well, that's our number 9 guy, and Aaron Nola is going to the St. Louis Cardinals. Aaron Nola had a bad year this year. His ERA was way over 4, but Aaron Nola is a solid pitcher at the top of a rotation. And the Cardinals, they could take anyone off the street right now and it would work, okay? I'm not trying to bash the Cardinals. They have to get pitching. And there's a lot of pitching on this market. If they don't get at least one of these guys, they should probably just wave the white flag and say, hey, we don't want to compete in 2024. So St. Louis Cardinals, go get Aaron Nola. And at number 8, I have Matt Chapman. Yeah, he's leaving the Blue Jays and he's going to the San Francisco Giants because the Giants need a face of that franchise. And Matt Chapman can definitely be that guy. Just like Marcus Stroman, Matt Chapman tore it up in the first half and then just fell off a cliff in the second half. But you know what? That's okay. Matt Chapman's a guy that you can pencil in for over 20 home runs a year. He plays a premium third base defensively, and he's just a guy that is known about. He's a bigger name player that you can sell jerseys and get fans to root for. That's what the Giants have been looking for a few years now. He's not going to cost as much as they were offering for Correa, so he's going to be a little bit cheaper. So the San Francisco Giants need to go out and get Matt Chapman. At number 7, I have Sonny Gray. There's been some connections that Sonny Gray and the Phillies are in talks. I guess the Phillies pitching coach and Sonny Gray were teammates back in Vanderbilt, and he's been been Sonny Gray's pitching coach with the Reds before. With all that said, I still think Sonny Gray is going to go to the LA Dodgers because the Dodgers need pitching, and especially a guy that's been around the league for a while. He's a veteran, he goes out there, he posts a sub-4 ERA, and I think any Dodgers fan would love to see this guy pitch Game 2 or Game 3 in any playoff atmosphere. At number 6, I have the best reliever on the market, Josh Hader. Who's he going to? He's going to the Philadelphia Phillies. And the reasoning is pure and simple. The Phillies need a guy that can come in the 9th inning and just lock games down. You know, they've messed around with guys like Sir Anthony Dominguez, Craig Kimbrell, and that's cute, but let's go out and get a real dominant closer, a guy that is made for the 9th inning, because you're going to be in the postseason year after year for probably the next 3-4 years at the minimum. Yes, Josh Hader will cost quite a bit of money, but the Phillies already have a lot of money invested. It's not going to hurt to go out and get a guy like Hader to really shore up this bullpen. Okay, so coming in at number 5, this one's kind of a hot take and it may ruffle some feathers, but hear me out. At number 5, I've got Trevor Bower going to the Arizona Diamondbacks. Yes, the team that drafted him, and he made his major league debut with the Arizona Diamondbacks. All charges have been dropped against Trevor Bower, and before all of this happened, his last 2 years in the big leagues were really good, posting an ERA under 3 in 2021 and an ERA under 2 and winning the Cy Young in 2020. He is the perfect fit for the Arizona Diamondbacks. That would give them Zach Gallen, Merrill Kelly, and Trevor Bauer, a three-headed monster for the postseason. Merrill Kelly looked good in 2023. Why not add Trevor Bauer and go get the ring this time? Throw in that JD Martinez pick that I had, and this team would look completely different going into 2024. Let me know if you agree. At number 4, I've got Clayton Kershaw going back to the LA Dodgers, of course. Clayton Kershaw had been rumored to go into Texas, for the past few years, but he's having shoulder surgery this offseason. It only makes sense that if he's gonna come back, it's going to be with LA. And I have him so high up on this list because Clayton Kershaw has been one of the best pitchers of our generation. He deserves to be the number 4 guy on this list, at least in my opinion. If you don't agree, I completely understand. Because at the end of the day, I am a biased Dodgers fan. I'm sorry. But this one's pretty easy. Clayton Kershaw back to the LA Dodgers. All right, it's that time. The top 3, and I bet you can't guess where I'm putting Shohei Ohtani. It's a wild one. So, starting us off at number 3 is Cody Bellinger, and I think this is clear cut and simple. Cody Bellinger is going to the New York Yankees. The New York Yankees have a horrible outfield. They have no depth at the major league level with the corner outfields or center field. They do have Jason Dominguez, who looks really good. He can roam center for you. But come on, bring in Cody Bellinger. He can play a little bit of right for you, first base. I don't think you put him in left. I think you move Judge to left to get him off his feet a little bit. But I think Cody Bellinger just makes the most sense because he's star power. He's got the big flashy name. He hits for power. I mean, imagine how many home runs he could hit over that short porch in right field. And then Judge hitting behind him. It's the perfect fit. Yankees, go get Cody Bellinger. And at number 2, I've got another weird one. Blake Snell is going to the New York Mets. Because look, the Mets traded off Max Scherzer and Justin Verlander at the trade deadline in 2023. And I know that Steve Cohen and the Mets are kind of talking like 2025 is when they plan to compete again. But Cohen's not going to allow the Mets to just tank in 2024. I think he is going to go out there and make a move. Blake Snell is a guy that is going to want a long-term deal. And I don't think a lot of these other teams in the market, like the Dodgers, the Diamondbacks, the Phillies, I just don't see those teams putting up like 5+ years for Blake Snell, but I could see the Mets doing that. And the Mets just do not have pitching. So Blake Snell to the New York Mets. It's a hot take. Okay, and finally, the one we've all been waiting for, Shohei Ohtani. Yeah, Shohei Ohtani, you might think I'm going with the San Francisco Giants, the LA Dodgers, going back with the Angels. Nope, Shohei Ohtani is going to the Texas Rangers. Why do I say that, you might ask? Well, per John Heyman of the New York Post, he stated that Shohei had said his preferred destination was the Texas Rangers, followed by the Giants and then the Dodgers. Now, I know Texas has spent a lot of money on guys like Jacob deGrom, Corey Seager, Marcus Semien, but look, at the end of the day, they just came off a World Series. They're one of the coolest teams in baseball to watch, and if you put Shohei Ohtani in the middle of that lineup, he's gonna pay for himself. Shohei Ohtani, I don't care what any owner says, Shohei Ohtani pays for himself easily, especially now that he's got to have another Tommy John surgery. That's gonna knock his price down just a smidge, and the Rangers could get in on that. And hear me out, this is what I think the Rangers should do with Shohei Ohtani. The Rangers do not have a closer. They have Jose Leclerc, and he looks good, but I think he's a better setup man than closer. So after 2024, when we get into 2025, I think the Rangers should move Shohei Ohtani into the closing position for the majority of the season while playing DH, hitting in like the 3 spot. And then once the end of August and the beginning of September come around, give Shohei Ohtani, 3, maybe 4 starts and see how he feels. And then at the worst, you have a dominant closer. We saw that in the World Baseball Classic, and a guy that could come in and make a spot start if you fall behind in series early on. I think it just makes a lot of sense for the Rangers, and if you have Bruce Bochy there, Bruce Bochy is like the perfect manager to handle a situation like Ohtani, because look what he did with Madison Bumgarner back with those years with the Giants. So yes, Shohei Ohtani going to the Texas Rangers. You heard it here. Either way, peace. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next one.